Morning guys, welcome back. We are here again for another 40k battle report. It is myself and Matt once more taking on each other. Hello Matt. We are doing a 2,000 point game today. We've got Matt and his Custodes.
Yes.
And I am bringing once again my Dark Angels, but for the first time a few units and models that I have not used yet. So we've set up the table. This is what we've done. We've gone...
Sorry,
that's
very
all right.
Professional.
We've set up the table with a load of terrain. I mean, it's fairly heavy, but we'll go through it sort of in detail when we've done the deployment and showed you where everything is. I mean, in terms of what we've got mission-wise, we've got Search and Destroy, which is our deployment. So in one corner up there, and then one corner down here. So a good bit of cover for each of us. And then obviously lots of fighting in no man's land, no doubt.
Yes.
The mission rule is Inspired Leadership. So while a player's warlord is not within their deployment zone, each time a unit from that player's army takes a battle shock test, if the player's warlord is within 9 inches and visible to that unit, you get +1 to the test. And we've both got fairly good leadership armies anyway, so that might not come up all that much, but it should mean there probably won't be many failed battle shock tests
I would imagine,
in this game.
So, it probably won't have much of an impact.
And then the primary mission is Linchpin. So it's the end of the command phase or at the end of your turn if it's the 5th battle round and you're going second. If the player whose turn it is does not control the objective marker in their deployment zone, they get 3 victory points for each objective marker that they do control. If you do control the objective marker in your deployment zone, you get 3 victory points for that one, but then 5 for each other ones. So it's essentially incentivizing you to keep control of your home objective and then go out and grab the ones elsewhere on the board. I'm not sure if we've done Linchpin on a battle report before. It sounds familiar, but
I mean,
I can't remember.
Few, so,
we may have done, but it should be a fairly easy one to get at least a few points on because even if you don't control your home one, you're still getting points for scoring the ones outside.
Yep.
So, a fairly simple set of rules, nothing too complex like we sometimes have where you have to remember 1,000,001 things to go through.
Yep.
But should be fairly straightforward. And as I said, we've got Custodes and Dark Angels. So we'll be back in just a second and we will go through what we have got. So this is the Custodes that Matt is bringing. Do you want to run through what you're bringing detachment wise, and then?
Sure. So it's exactly 2,000 points, which makes a nice change for me. Yeah. I'm running Auric Champions today, just because I've not done it before, and it could be interesting.
That's the semi Herohammery one. Or
it is the very Herohammery one. Yeah. So in the command phase, select one unit from your opponent's army until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model in a Custodes character unit from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit +1 to wound.
Okay, cool.
So it's quite useful.
Yeah, that is nice.
And obviously you've still got Martial Qatar with the sustained hits or lethal hits.
Yes, yeah.
You don't get the shield host.
Bonuses to that, yeah.
So character-wise, we've got 4. They're the dudes at the front. We start with a Blade Champion.
Yep.
He's got the Veiled Blade enhancement, which is +2 attacks, and once per battle you can triple his objective control score.
That's fairly nice.
It's not too terrible. We've got a Shield Captain with the Melter Spear and the Shield.
Yep.
He's got Martial Philosopher as an enhancement.
Oh, he's a philosopher, is he?
He is, yeah, which means his unit is eligible to shoot and charge on a turn in which it falls back. And once per battle, when an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 inches, I can move up to 6 inches, as long as I'm not in engagement range.
Yeah.
Which is quite useful. We've got a Terminator Captain. He doesn't have any enhancements. He's just got a spear and a grenade launcher.
He doesn't need any enhancements.
Not, no. And then we've got the Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jet Bike, and he's got the Blade Imperator enhancement, which means when his unit ends a charge, one unit in engagement range can suffer some mortal wounds, and once per battle after I finish a charge, all enemy units within 6 must take a battle shock test.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I get +1 to that.
Which is okay. We've got 5 Custodian Guards with spears.
Yep.
We've got 3 Alaris Custodian Terminators with axes.
Them there.
We've got a Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought, which is the Dread Spear one. He's got 2 twin Adrathic Destructors on his wrists.
Very nice.
We've got 4 Wardens with axes and a Vexilla.
Yep, that's these guys here.
Yep. 5 Sagittarum, which are the shooty ones with the bolt calibers.
At the back.
3 Venatari, which are the ones with jump packs. And they've got pistol and buckler. And then we've got 3 Virtus Praetors jet bikes with salvo launchers.
Nice. So 2,000 points on the nose.
2,000 points on the nose.
looking very scary, and I'm looking forward to going up against them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing you.
That is the Custodes, and we'll be back in just a sec, and we'll go through what the Dark Angels are bringing to try and fend them off. And what he's going up against the Custodes. Sorry, Matt was just correcting my grammar, so I thought I would annoy him. This is 2,000 points on the nose of Dark Angels, who shall be going up against Matt and his Custodes. As you can see, a few units that I haven't bought before, some old regulars in the Ravenwing, but this is the Lion's Blade, which is the new Grotmus detachment, which really kind of incentivized running dual wing of Deathwing and Ravenwing, which is what I've done. So everything here is either Deathwing or Ravenwing. There is no green wing to speak of. Azrael may be green, but he is Deathwing, because obviously he's the Grand Master, so it would be a bit unfair if he wasn't a member to all the secret clubs.
Yeah.
So 2,000 points on the nose. Our Warlord is the newly painted by Ashlyn, so thank you very much again for that. Lionel Johnson.
Yeah.
He's yeah. You mean rules wise?
Yeah.
Because the painting job's really good.
No, it's absolutely beautiful.
But yeah, we'll see what he can do. I've never used him before, despite him being out for a little while now, which is a bit weird. But I'm looking forward to giving him a try and seeing what he can do. So he is my Warlord. We've also got Azrael as the second in command. We've got a Terminator Chaplain as well. We've also got 2 more HQs in a Chaplain on the bike and another Chaplain on the bike. So the Chaplains on bikes are both leading a 6-man unit of Outriders. So there's 2 6-man Outrider squads going along with them. We've got 2 units of 5 Deathwing Knights with the Power Swords, and the Knight Captains have got the Great Weapon of the Unforgiven. So for some sustained hits and devastating wounds. One of the units is being led by the Terminator Chaplain, so he'll be going with them to help them do even more damage. We've got 6 Inner Circle Companions with the Calibanite Greatswords. They will be accompanied by Azrael. And then just to round things off, we've got 2 Storm Speeder Hammer Strikes, which is the Melter versions, just to zip around the board and maybe do some somewhat decent anti-tank. And then we've
tanks.
Yeah, but a Dreadnought.
Yeah, a Dreadnought.
And then we've got a single Invader ATV with the multi-melter. He's not with one of the squads. He's just going to be running solo to be an annoyance and maybe just to zip around and grab me some sneaky objectives, which should be handy. In terms of enhancements, the Chaplain has got the Fulgus Magna, so him and his unit can do some sneaky uppy-downy shenanigans at the end of Matt's turn, which should hopefully be handy. And then this Chaplain here with the Golden Crozius has got the Calibanite armaments, which gives him +1 damage. Which is not
literally all it does.
Just +1 damage for 15 points. Which
Excellent.
we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
And in the Unforgiven, you can get, I can't remember what the name of the enhancement is, in the Unforgiven task force, that gives you +1 strength, +1 attack, and +1 damage for 15 points.
The same points, yeah.
And if you're battle shocked, +2 strength, +2 attacks, and +2 damage.
Weapons of the First Legion.
Weapons of the First Legion. Yeah. Which is so. I mean, if Matt was really nice, he would let me take that enhancement in this detachment. But that is 2,000 points on the nose, so we are evenly matched up points wise. So this is going to be all about skill.
And your new dice hopefully not failing.
And my new dice hopefully not failing me. So that is the Dark Angels. I'm really looking forward to giving them a try. This is post the latest data slate. We are recording this the Saturday after it came out. It came out on Wednesday this week.
Yes. I don't think it makes much.
Doesn't make much of a difference in terms of anything. A few points changes for Matt, but nothing in terms of what the Dark Angels have got updated. So yeah, we will get to the board. We'll show you the deployment when we're all deployed, and then we will get this fight underway. That is deployment all done for both sides. Do you want to run through what you put where, Matt?
So I didn't really know what I was doing.
No.
And I forgot which detachment I was using, so I didn't really know what I was doing with the Dreadnought.
No, yeah.
What is it, Solar Wardens? Or
the Solar Spearhead?
The new one. Yeah, the new Grotmus one.
Yeah.
He can move through walls with a stratagem, but obviously he can't in this one.
No.
I'm not using that. So fortunately he can still go over the walls. So
yes.
he's on my far left. He's just going to do some
stuff around that side. Hopefully keep you scared away from that side.
Makes sense.
The custodian guards with the shield captain are just inside the building, just inside my deployment zone.
Yep.
They're just going to go and try and grab that objective in the corner.
Makes sense.
Sagittarium in the back, holding on to my objective.
Yep.
We've then got the wardens and the jet bikes on my right-hand side for a potential centre line or this no man's land deployment objective over here.
Yep.
And then in reserve, we've got my Terminators with their shield captain and the Venatari.
Yeah, nice. So, a good bit on the board, but also some scary stuff to come in Deep Strike.
That was the thinking. Whether it pans out that way or not is a different question entirely, but we shall see.
Yeah, indeed. And in terms of the Dark Angel deployment, we have got my 2 Hammer Strikes here. They are behind this building, which is obscuring.
Yes.
All the ruins are obscuring, so line of sight is going to be fairly well buggered for a lot of things. But I mean, that's how we wanted it, to be honest. So that's fine. We've got a unit of the Outriders with the Chaplain on my flank here. In the centre, we've got the Invader ATV that's going to be sort of capping that objective and holding it for me and being a general annoyance. That's just moving the dice. Thank you. Azrael and his inner circle are also behind the obscuring terrain for now, but they can move up and go through, obviously, as their infantry. The other bike squad with the Chaplain that has +1 damage is on this side, either to go up after there and probably then get wiped out by the bikes, but we'll see what happens. And then in reserves for me, the Lion is in Deep Strike, as are both units of Deathwing, because neither Matt nor I have ever really used teleport homers. We didn't actually realise what they did.
I think I've ever run Terminators.
No, so I can set them up at the start of the first battle round. And then Rapid Ingress a unit for 0 CP, which will be quite handy. So that's going to be my plan for those units.
Yep. So my Venatari can do Rapid Ingress for 0 CP as well.
Yes, you don't even need a teleport homer.
No.
So that is the deployment. We are all set up and ready to go. Do you want to roll to see who's going first? We've got a handy dandy rolling thing, so that do you want to go first?
1.
Matt rolled a 1.
4.
I rolled a 4. So I have to go first.
You do.
So that is the Dark Angels going first. So we'll be back in a sec and we will show you the Dark Angel command phase and where I have moved to. Dark Angels won the roll off to go first. So I went first. It was a bit cagey in terms of movement, just because I don't want to get charged by a load of Custodes stuff turn 1. That might make the game fairly short. So I just made the guard squad in there the oath target, but then everything else basically just shuffled up a little bit. The bike squad here moved up. I was going to go on to the objective, but I didn't, because then the bikes would have charged there. We worked out that realistically Matt's not going to be able to get further than that dice unless anything really, really crazy happens, I don't think.
I can't think of anything.
So they should be safe for a turn. The Inner Circle Companions and Azrael just moved up. They're still behind the obscuring terrain. Keep them safe. The ATV stayed where he was, just to keep my objective. Although I don't claim it this turn anyway, but for next turn, he'll be there. These bikes moved up, ready to potentially charge out the side alley and go into there. This Storm Speeder advanced, because I needed that to get onto the objective, which gets me extend battle lines.
Yep. The other objective you got was assassination.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. While I'm here. So I got extend battle lines, which means I need to control one or more objective marker within your deployment zone and one or more in no man's land. So actually I did need to keep that one anyway for this turn. So it is useful. And I also got assassination, which I'm obviously not going to get this turn, but I can. Unless I got really lucky. I did make the guard squad the oath target.
Yep.
The Storm Speeder is going to shoot into them and shoot them to death. Maybe.
Sure.
So I might. So that's the only shooting I've got. So I might just do that on camera. If you've got the, it's the hammer strike, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. So I'll just do that on camera because that's all the shooting I've got. And then it will be the end of my turn, I think.
Cool.
So the hammer strike has got.
Before you do anything, I'm going to use my command point that I got this turn. For the Emperor's Auspice.
Ooh, very nice.
It's a Custodes character unit. So they have 4 upfield and event.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So we've got the Thunderstrike has got Storm Fury missiles, a Las Talon, and Twin Icarus rocket pod.
Isn't it Hammer Strike with the melter?
Yes. I'm looking at the Hammer Strike, but I've actually... I'm looking at the Thunderstrike, but I've got the Hammer Strike. So actually, you can ignore all of that. I have got the Hammer Strike missile launcher, 2 Crack Storm grenade launchers, And the Melted Destroyer.
Yes.
That's better.
Yes.
So the Hammer Strike missile launcher is 2 shots.
Yes.
Hits on 3. I am in
16 just under 16.
Yeah, minimum range is 18 inches. Yeah. Sure. So the Hammer Strike missile launcher is 2 shots.
Yep.
These hit on 3s, but I am re-rolling because that is my oath target.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
It is strength 9, so wounding on 3s.
Yeah, toughness 6.
That is 2 wounds.
Okay.
At -3.
-3, so -2 because of cover.
Yep.
So 4 up 4 up invuln or 4 up armor.
Yep.
That's 1 in the thing and 1 not. That's a fail and a pass.
So D6 damage for 2.
Okay. 4 up pen. Both fail. 1 takes 2 wins.
2 wounds on 1.
Okay.
Then we've got the 2 Crackstorm grenade launchers, which again hit on 3s with a reroll for 1 hit. 1 hit.
Mm-hmm.
This is also strength 9, so winning on 3s. For a wound, this is only -1, so you're 2 up save.
Of course.
And D3 damage, but it'll... Oh yeah, because it matters for 1.
4 up pen. Okay.
So 1's dead.
Yep.
And then the Melted Destroyer is 3 shots. 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Again, strength 9, so winning on 3s.
Mm-hmm.
For 1.
Okay.
-4.
4 up invuln.
Yep.
There we go.
Cool.
He's fine.
So 1 dies.
Yes.
Yay! I killed a Custodes. First blood, right?
Technically, yeah, it is. I'll take this guy back.
Fair enough. That is all my shooting. Also, they don't get the benefits of cover against any of the rest of my shooting.
Oh, no, that's really unfortunate.
Yes. That is the end of Dark Angel's turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get extend battle lines.
Yes.
So that gets me...
some points.
End of your turn... 5 victory points. You control 1 more objective within your deployment zone and 1 or more in No Man's Land.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 VP for me.
Yep.
Nice. Good job, guys. Right. That is Dark Angel's turn 1 done. We are going into Custodes turn 1 of Battle Round 1. We'll be back in just a sec to show you what Matt objective wise got and then his command phase and movement and see where he's ended up. Custodes turn 1. Matt's conceded. I win. No,
not yet.
Unfortunately not. What did you do in your... What did you get objective?
So objective-wise, I got recover assets. So I need units in each area of the battlefield, my deployment, No Man's Land, and Will's deployment. And then I need to do an action until the end of Will's next turn, and then I can get some points.
Yes. A bit of hoop jumping.
Annoying, but it's okay. And then no prisoners. So just kill stuff.
Kill stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a bit easier.
Indeed. So command phase, I did the assemblage of might rule, picking a unit to get +1 wound against. And I chose this bike unit with the terrifyingly upgraded chaplain.
Yep, the +1 damage
really
chaplain.
scary
3 damage.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, that's 1 shot in a
It is 1 shot, yeah, that's true.
And then movement-wise, my bikes and my wardens have moved across towards the right-hand side of my flank to try and put Will off a little bit from charging one or other of those units.
Yes.
The Sagittarium stayed where they were. The Dreadnought has moved up, is wholly now within No Man's Land, so he's going to do the action to recover assets.
Yep.
And the Guard squad with the captain have moved forwards. They're 8 inches away from the closest hammer strike.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and charge. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
And the Sagittarium are also going to do the action, which is annoying because they could do some decent shooting. But
points win prizes.
Points win prizes, exactly.
Cool, right. So we'll go into your shooting phase. You've got a little bit of shooting
pretty much
to do.
just the bikes and the guards, yeah.
Okay.
We'll
be back when...
Unless you wanted to film it, it's up to you.
No, well, I think we'll just come back and see what's done.
Sure.
And then we'll film the charges.
No problem.
That'll be quite fun. So that was a short but sweet but not wholly ineffective shooting phase.
Yeah,
so
surprisingly good, actually.
You shot with that squad there?
I did. The Custodian
Spear.
Guard and the Pyrothite Spear shot at one of the hammer strikes.
The one at the back that isn't being charged.
Well,
but probably,
yeah.
Yeah.
Pyrothite Spear did nothing, failed to wound. And
wounds.
2 of the Guard's spears went through and did
failed
4
my
damage.
save, so 4 damage, taking him down to 7. But then on the jet bike side, fired in your...
Yeah, so I forgot or didn't realise, in fact didn't realise because they never used to be strength 10.
No.
The salvo launchers are strength 10, so they're wounding the bikes on 2s anyway, so I didn't need the +1 to wound.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it lasts until my next turn.
Yes.
So... yeah, but anyway, I killed 2 bikes.
Yeah, two bikes died, failed their saves.
Yeah.
So 2 bikes died.
Yeah. Recovering assets, Sagittarium are doing it, and the Contemptor is doing it as well.
He's got a little sandcastle and bucket.
He is, yeah. He's got his bucket and spade out.
Bucket and spade. But the
The Custodian
only
Guard.
charging that's happening is the Custodian Guard. So we'll roll that.
Charge the hammer strike.
Are they just declaring
Yes.
the 1? Because obviously it would be harder to...
9.
It's a 9, that's to get you in.
They are in.
In they go.
And we forgot to mention at the beginning of my turn, because I always forget my rules, I'm doing sustained hits.
Yes, sustained hits on the...
Martial Kata.
Yes, indeed. So they are in.
They are in. There we go. And then we'll do some pile-ins. And
We'll do
stuff
some
in a
pile-ins
second.
and roll some dice, and we'll be back and show you probably one less Thunderstrike there. So we'll be back in just a sec, and we'll show you what has been done in the fight phase. So that is the end of Custodes turn 1, the end of the Custodes fight phase. Mm-hmm. The only combat, of course, was the guard squad that charged into the hammer strike, and then the captain piled in to that one as well.
Yeah.
But
just to tag it.
Yeah, just to tag it. All the attacks went into the only one they charged, obviously.
Yep.
And they did do 10 damage in total between all the attacks, so it's down to 1 wound left.
Yeah, I played the... What did I play? Damn it, no, I can't remember.
Earning
of a name on the captain, so he was re-rolling all hits and wounds. A few sustained, nothing special, but yeah, managed to get 10 damage through, which is good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't kill anything, no prisoners.
No, didn't kill anything. Nearly did, but not quite.
Did, and am using 2 units to recover assets. So
and when does that
turn,
complete?
So that completes at the end of your turn.
At the end of my turn, okay.
Yes.
Cool. And I did my attacks back. Didn't do anything. They were oaths, so I was re-rolling. But
it was a bit of bump cars.
Yes, it didn't really do much.
No.
So that is the end of battle round 1. And we are about to go into Dark Angels turn 2.
Current score, for those interested in those kinds of things.
Yep.
15-10.
Nice.
Because obviously we include the battle ready
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. Cool. All right. Well, let's go into Dark Angels turn 2. See what objectives I score and see where I move my stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll be back in just a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Dark Angels turn 2 movement phase is done.
It was eventful.
It was fairly eventful. It was fairly lengthy. I got Bring It Down as my next objective. So basically destroy a vehicle. Probably not going to happen this turn because the only vehicle that Matt has is the Dreadnought, which I'm not going to get to. But most of my stuff did move up. The bike squad moved up and around, and the enemy Custodes bike squad is the Oath target. So I'm going to do some shooting into them. The Inner Circle companions, after much deliberation, moved up. The ATV also moved up, keeping a wheel on the home objective because I moved him off, and Matt very kindly reminded me that might not be a good idea. Yeah. This bike squad moved up after the 2 Storm Speeders fell back, so they can't shoot. But then after my bikes moved up, Matt used Martial Philosopher to make a reactive move. So they moved into the building, which is actually what prompted me to move the ATV, because now they're in the building, the melter can shoot them. So maybe he was trying to trick me, but he was kind enough to...
I wasn't, actually. I forgot that thing was even there.
Apart from that, my Deathwing Night Squad without the chaplain deep struck in. So that was the last bit of movement on my end. But then Matt did rapid ingress on 2 units for free. Thanks to his
So the shield captain can -1 CP from a stratagem once per battle round. So that's the one I've used for him. And that makes his rapid ingress free. Excuse me.
Matt's just coughing. He's alright, I promise.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
No, he's not fine.
So the Terminators are over there just to make him maybe think twice about charging the Terminators of the Custodian Guard. And then my Venatari have used rapid ingress to pop down on my extreme right flank just to give something else to think about for that bike squad. And to potentially jump on the objective.
So they can move up, grab the objective. We weren't sure, because obviously I can't shoot them because they're at line of sight. You don't have to see a target to charge.
Correct.
But my plan is not to charge them, but we were just curious because I asked the question. But that is the end of the Dark Angels command and movement phase. There's going to be a fair bit of shooting, so I'll go do that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you, because there's also potentially going to be a couple of charges. All right, so back in just a sec. So the shooting phase was,
less impressive than I expected it to be.
So these guys all shot into that squad there. They gave them the devastating wounds from the chaplain.
I played Emperor's Auspice for 4 pain.
So I did 4 wounds in total after everything. So killed 1 and did a wound to another. And then I did pretty much the exact same thing there, except they were oathed.
Yep.
So I thought less outriders to shoot, but I thought maybe they would do as less fewer, lesser,
lesser outriders.
Much less more of them. They shot into the bikes, rerolling all hits.
Yep.
I rerolled all the wounds because of twin linked to fish for 6s.
Yep.
And I got 1 6.
How many hits did you get initially?
9. Oh,
how many wounds did you get?
So I got 9 hits, and then out of those 9 hits, I got 1 wound, which was a 5.
Yep.
And I thought I need to reroll everything. So I re-rolled all of them, all 9, got 1 wound again. But it was a 6. So it was an improvement. We like to think it was the 5 that I rolled.
It was, definitely that one bullet,
So just one wound on the bike set. Do have a couple of charges to try. The bikes are going to try and get into the custodian guard there. Those bikes are going to try and get into... I'm kind of tempted to try the ward. No, because I've got Oath a Moment on them. So I'm going to try and get into the bikes. I may as well try both, to be honest, because the...
May as well. The wardens are really close.
The wardens are closer.
Yeah, you're looking at 6 on the wardens. Ugh, knocking my bikes over. 9 on the bikes. Yeah. 9 on the bikes.
In that case, I might just go into the wardens and try and kill them, because 9 is not super reliable. So I'm just going to go into the wardens, actually, then. So let's see if I get into them. I know Matt can heroically intervene, but if I declare the bikes after roll a 9, heroically intervene. So just to the wardens, 10. Damn it!
Right, I'll move you over.
Can I reactively declare the bikes? Yeah, that's fine. These bikes are going to try into there, and also the Terminators are going to try into them as well, I think. The bikes might have to use...
you might need the strength.
No, it depends how many I want to get
into combat, yeah.
I'm going to use the 1 CP strat. I can't remember what it's called. Knights of Iron or something, I think, which allows me to move through walls when I charge. So I'll do that on the bikes.
Yeah.
And they roll a 9.
They should easily
so
be
that will definitely get them in. And some of these guys, I'm just going to move one in to now.
And
drop
kill
my hand. Yep.
well. Yeah,
because now the Terminators need a 7.
You need to move all the bikes because you might not even get the space for the Terminators.
This is very true. Let's move him to there.
Need a 7?
Yeah, because they get +2 to their roll.
What?
If a Ravenwing unit is in engagement range.
Outrageous.
So let's see if they can get in. 5, 6, 7.
Cool.
And because they deep struck in, they were 9 inches away, so they should be in.
Makes sense to me.
Cool. Right, I'll move them in, and then...
I'll decide if I'm going to heroically intervene.
Yes, indeed. Or where, because you've got 2 potential places.
Indeed I do.
Right, so we'll move them in, and then we'll come back and might roll some dice for the fighting, but we'll show you what is where and who's fighting what.
Okay.
Dark Angels turn 2 is now done. The combat phase has just been finished. We had a few fights going on. Matt didn't have the CP to interrupt, which was useful for me, so I fought down up there first, didn't I?
You did, yes.
And
killed one warden.
And then in the return swings afterwards, Matt killed
everything apart from the
chaplain.
One
chaplain.
wound left on the chaplain.
Who's got 1 wound left, which is funny.
Yes, it's so annoying.
But then down here, I mean, to be honest, I didn't do that much either.
Killed 2 Terminators.
The Deathwing Knights fought into the Terminators and killed 2 of them.
Did you kill one? I think you killed 1 custodian.
And I killed 1 custodian with the bikes. And then on the return swing, did you kill a bike?
2 bikes.
You killed 2 bikes.
That was it.
And then you did 3 wounds to a Terminator.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
So yeah, that was it. Killed a couple, but those combats are all ongoing, and we are going into.
What did you score?
I scored nothing secondary wise. I've still got assassination and bring it down. I didn't kill a vehicle, and I didn't actually kill an enemy character, did I?
No. Okay, so I got recover assets at the end of your turn.
Yes, you did. Yep.
2 units recovered them.
Yep.
And I'm gonna score no prisoners now as well.
Yep.
Because I killed a unit of yours. And I may as well get that out.
Makes sense.
No, I think I can kill more in my turn.
Okay.
So I'm not going to use that one yet.
Okay, cool. Right. Cool. So we're going into Matt's turn 2, and he'll draw some objectives, and then we'll do his command phase and movement and see where stuff ends up. Right, so that was the end of the Custodes' turn.
2 movement.
2 movement
Yes.
and command
So I
phase.
scored 3 points.
Scored 3
objective.
points. What did you get objective-wise?
Marks for death. So you had to choose 3 units of your army for me to kill.
Yes,
You
which was
chose
the
inner
circle,
the
the ATV,
bike,
and the Deathwing Knights.
Yeah, which means I'm not going to kill any of them this turn.
And then you moved the Venatari.
Yes, so they're now on the objective.
Yep.
They're also within 12 of the companions.
Yep.
So I can shoot them if I want to. The bikes I move forwards as well, just
Yep.
so I could see the companions. And actually, it's not that far a charge. I thought
No,
it was
it's an
further than
8-inch
it is.
charge.
It's only an 8. Fell back with the custodians because they've got the martial philosopher enhancement on the captain, so they can fall back, shoot, and charge.
Did lose one from my detachment rule, which forces desperate escape. We were like, what does that do?
We've never used it before.
Dreadnought
moved up forwards. He's going to charge into the dudes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my
was
movement.
base-
And I put the
yes.
I put my +1 to wound on the Deathwing
Yeah.
Knights.
And I've still got
Yeah,
Oath Moment on the bikes.
Yeah.
The Sagittarium say where they are.
Yes.
The only thing that I did is I rapidly ingressed the lion.
Yes.
I was really trying to get him into a place where I could heroically intervene, but also not be shot at. But because of how I moved the inner circle, he's within range of 2 of the salvo launchers.
Yeah.
But between potentially Armour of Contempt and
I'm
his
not
3 up
expecting to do any
in
damage to him.
front, he should be okay.
Yeah.
And that is that. So that is the movement. We're going into the shooting phase, and then we'll jump into the charge phase after that. So be back in a bit. The Custodes shooting phase has been completed.
It has. It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was okay. So the Dreadnought completely whiffed.
The Dreadnought did
fired
nothing.
He fired at the hammer strikes. Did nothing.
Did
because
nothing.
He's useless.
Yes.
165 points wasted. The Custodians did kill one of the hammer strikes.
On their second attempt.
On their second attempt, because they can once per battle they can fire twice.
Yes.
So they did that and killed one of the hammer strikes with the melter
The
spear.
melter sphere did. The one on one wound survived Dreadnought and double firing from
because of course he did.
Yeah. But that was all the shooting on that side, wasn't it?
The
bikes
jet bikes
and
the jet bikes split fired.
Yes,
because that always works.
Yeah.
2 into the companions, 2 into the lion.
Yep.
Everything with
Nothing
was saved.
Yep.
The Venatari fired at the lion because I thought may as well give it a shot.
And again,
nothing happened at all.
But then the
Sagittarium then fired at the companions. I decided not to use their devastating wounds thing
because I've got feel no pain
against it, but your Deathwing Knights do as well, don't they?
Yes, I can. Yeah, once per game I can do it.
Maybe I should have done it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've not done it now. But I still managed to kill 2.
Yes, 2 of them died.
Which was cool.
So the 2 are dead, and they're also suppressed now, so they're -1 to hit.
Yes, they are, until the start of my next turn.
Yes. So that is it. Do you have some charges, and do you want to roll them on camera?
I've definitely got 2
or are you
charges.
going to think about it?
Well, no, I've definitely got 2.
Okay.
And I think what you've done here...
I moved the 2 nearest... Yeah, I moved the 2 nearest the front, so...
I may as well try it.
Okay.
Because that way I still get Lance.
Yeah,
So I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll start with the
Dreadnought and the Guard, because they fell back so they could charge, didn't they?
Dreadnought is going to roll double 1s now
Into
and
the
fail
knights.
his charge.
He's rolled a 3 so far. I don't know what the charge was, but probably 4.
Should be fine.
Probably
I
be fine,
think.
yeah.
And the Guard are going to charge the bikes.
Yep. With an 11, yeah, that
And the
would.
bikes are going to try and charge...
What are they going to charge? 1 or both, or...
Just the companions.
Okay.
I mean, you'd probably be able to heroically to
was gonna say-
anyway, but 5. No. So they failed.
Reroll?
No.
Fair enough.
No.
You could do.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay. So
we'll move everybody.
Dreadnought in and the Guard in.
Yep.
And then we will come back and
There we go.
show some fighting.
Indeed.
So we'll be back in a sec, and we'll see what is still alive. We are at the end of Custodes' turn 2.
Yes.
And the end of battle round 2.
Yes.
That was a fairly decent combat phase.
It was. I think your turn 3 combat phase is going to be even better, though.
Maybe. Possibly.
100%.
So what happened?
What happened? So
Hammer
I
strikes
think
are
that's
on.
the 3rd time.
Hammer strikes are on the worst bases
Mm-hmm.
ever invented by GW.
Yes, completely agree. We'll sort it out in a minute.
Yeah.
What happened? So obviously the Dreadnought and the Custodian Guard charged again.
Yes.
The Custodian Guard killed a couple of bikes.
Killed a couple of bikers.
You interrupted with your Terminators.
Yep.
Took my Dreadnought down to 4 wounds remaining.
4 wounds left on the Dread, and I did I do? No, I didn't do it. No.
The Dreadnought then smashed a load of Terminators.
Yep.
3, I think he killed.
Yeah, I think he killed 3.
The Terminators, my Terminators killed 2.
There's only 5 in there, so
Oh, killed 1.
only killed 1.
No, that's fine. Killed 1, so there's just the Sergeant remaining now.
Yeah.
My Guard killed a bike or 2 bikes?
I think it was 1 or 2 bikes.
Yeah, and you did 2 damage.
And I did 2 damage back.
Your Chaplain did nothing, and my Wardens... my Blade Champion did
Your Blade
nothing,
Champion did
and
absolutely
then
nothing.
Wardens chopped him in half.
Yep.
And that was it.
And that was it. There was no charges elsewhere.
Nope. So that's the end of my turn.
So that is the end of Battle Round 2. Where
no prisoners.
Yep, the man got
I
no prisoners.
destroyed the Chaplain and the Hammer Strike this turn.
Yes.
So 2 units to destroy for that, so 4 points for that.
Yep.
And I didn't get marked for death because that one annoying Sergeant is still there.
Yes, indeed.
So close.
It was very close.
But, yeah. So that's it. So points-wise, moving into turn 3.
Yep.
18-20.
To who? You.
Me. So I'm 2 points ahead currently.
Okie doke, and we are going into Battle Round 3 and my turn 3. So let's go into my command phase, see what I draw, and see what I can do to try and kill some of these bloody Custodes that just won't die.
Sorry.
Turn 3 for the Dark Angels.
Yeah.
This could be an important one.
Points. I can't remember if I put
I
them
only
on.
hold my home objective.
Yeah, I just can't remember if I put them on. I did.
Yep.
What did you draw?
So I kept Assassination,
Yeah.
and I drew Storm Hostile Objective.
Cool.
Which is, I basically need to take an objective that Matt held at the start, which is probably going to be that one that I go for. And in terms of other movement, the Lion moved up to get a charge off from them. The Inner Circle and Companions moved up to potentially get a charge off from the Bikes, who are also my Oath targets. Nothing moved here because obviously it's all locked up in combat.
Apart from the Hammer Strike.
Apart from the Hammer Strike, which moved just a bit further over so that I could see the Sagittarium. I'm within 18 inches, so I can just get some pot shots off at them. And then the Deathwing Knights dropped in 9 inches away from everything. But because I'm still locked up with the Ravenwing there, that means their charge is 7 inches because of my detachment rule.
That's a very good rule.
Yeah, so when you fall back from Ravenwing, you get the Desperate Escape. And then when your Deathwing charge, as long as you're in engagement, as long as the enemy's in engagement range, they get +2 to that.
That's very good.
So that is all the movement. There was nothing else done by either of us. So we're going to go into my shooting phase. I've got a few token bits of shooting, but then we'll jump into the charges, which is where most of the damage will be done, I would have thought.
I imagine so, yeah.
Cool. Right, so we'll be back in a sec and show you what's been shot and what charges I'm about to make. Shooting phase went as expected, which is to say
not very well.
Nothing really happened.
I don't think anything happened. Oh, no, you did 2 damage.
I did 2 damage to the
Venatari.
Venatari from the Lion.
Yeah.
Azrael shot into the bikes, didn't do anything. Yep. The bikers here shot their pistols into the Custodian Guard, didn't do anything. That was about it.
Yeah, and the Hammer Strike killed a...
Oh, and the Hammer Strike killed a Sagittarium. Yes,
yeah.
That is very true. Thank you, Hammer Strike. But we're going to roll some charges now.
Yep.
So we're going to start with the Lion because that's probably the easiest one to make. So I don't know how far it is, but maybe a 5?
3.
Yeah. An 8 will get me in.
Yes, it will.
And then Azrael and his squad are going to charge in.
I think it's a 6.
4. I'm going to have to use one of my command points for that to re-roll it. An 11.
Yeah.
And that'll get me in.
Yep.
So that's put me down to 1 CP. And then I'm hoping that I make that 7 because I was saving one of the re-rolls for either one of those. I thought the Lion would almost certainly get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that should be a 7 because of the Ravenwing.
Knights into the Custodian Guard.
And that's a 10.
That'll do ya.
So yeah, we'll just move them in and then I will decide where I'm... Because Matt does have the potential to interrupt.
I do. Only on a unit that has a shield captain in it.
Yes. But he could interrupt. So I'm going to have to think about where I go first. And we'll be back and show you what's fought. And maybe I might roll the Lions when I do that one because that could be fun. The Dark Angels fight phase is nearly over and...
It was less impactful than I thought.
It was really, really disappointing in some ways.
Yeah.
So start over here.
Yeah. So the Deathwing Knights charged.
The Deathwing Knights charged, so they fought and they killed the captain and the last guy.
But before that... Well, why don't we start from the top?
Yes.
So the Inner Circle Companions and Azrael charged the bikes.
Yes. I was saving that.
They were the first unit that was
They were the first unit to fight. And
they killed 1 bike and did 2 damage to another.
Yeah, they did absolutely abysmally.
Useless.
Considering it was Oath the Moment target, Azrael gives them sustained hits.
Yep.
I chose the lethal hit
Yep.
profile on them.
Yep.
And I re-rolled pretty much everything to fish for as many
Yep.
6s as I possibly could. Killed one bike
Yep.
and did 2 damage to another.
Yes. 4 up in one's great.
And then Azrael with sustained hits, lethal hits, and devastating wounds.
And
Re-rolls from oaths. Did nothing.
Yep. And
So-
plus 1 to hit.
Yeah. Although
Yep.
-1 to hit as well from, but yeah, still absolutely nothing.
Yep.
So that was very disappointing.
Yep. I then interrupted with my shield captain and custodian guard.
Yes, and
Killed
killed
all
the
the
bikers.
bikes and the chaplain.
Yes.
Yes.
And then my Terminators fought. They killed the captain and the remaining guard,
Yes.
which does at least get me assassinate.
It does.
So that's good.
Now, slightly out of sequence because we
Yeah.
wanted to film the lion.
Yes.
We've jumped over to the
Yeah, although they would have been
Defender.
last.
the defender fights option. My dreadnought killed the last remaining Deathwing Knight on the objective,
Yes.
which is the first time the dreadnought's ever actually done anything useful.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm also potentially going to pile into your dreadnought. I hadn't thought about doing
Oh,
that.
consolidate.
Consolidate even.
Sure,
I'll do
we'll
that
deal with
later, yeah.
afterwards.
The big thing is that we want to save the lion for last because I'm going to roll it.
Yes.
So
I mean, yeah.
we'll see what happens.
We've just spent the last couple of minutes debating what type of attacks the lion's going to do, and we've decided he's going to use all of his mighty strength
Yes,
to one-shot the Venatari.
he's going for the strike profile with fealty. So it's 8 attacks,
Mm-hmm.
lethal hits,
Yeah.
strength 12, so
Yep.
wounding them on 2s,
Yep.
-4, so pushing them to their 4 up.
Mhm.
Invuln, they've got shields, so they've got 4 wounds each, but fealty is a flat 4 damage
In this pro.
in this profile, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no rerolls or anything, but lethal hits.
Yep.
I've got 8 chances to get through 3 unsaved wounds.
Here come 8 ones.
Yeah. So we're hitting on 2s, 6s are an auto wound. So lion into 3 Venatari.
Yep.
I do actually already have the objective
You
because
do,
I'm higher
because there's only
OC,
one of my guys
But-
on the objective.
but I just want to kill them.
Fair.
And then your bikes need to fight as well, but we'll do that. We'll do that afterwards. So 1 lethal
Okay, it's a good start.
and 1 miss.
It's a
But
good start for me.
the rest hit.
2 to win.
2s to wound.
6 ones.
Well, there's 1.
Oh,
But that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
okay. 4 up in ones.
6 saves to make.
No, at least 2 are
two,
dead.
2 are dead.
One's alive.
I didn't kill the bloody squad.
And actually, he only had 2 wounds left.
Okay.
So you really, realistically, only killed 1.5.
I did 6 wounds.
You did.
Oh dear. I think that was still the better option than going for the sustained, the strike profile, the sweep
It was
profile.
certainly, yeah.
Because wounding on
It
4s
is
would have
what
been
I
a
would
pain.
done, to be fair.
Wounding on 4s would have been a pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, it was probably pretty much a wash in terms of math hammer. I don't know.
Can I do some damage back to you?
You can do some damage back
Can
to
I do
me.
it on camera?
Yes.
So he's got 5 attacks.
He's got 5 attacks.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the bikes off camera and
Yeah,
come back.
he hits on 2s.
Yes.
He's got sustained.
Yes, he does.
So that's 2 sustained. So he hits you 6 times. I should have done lethal, actually, thinking about it. What's your toughest?
9.
Yeah, so 5's to wound because I'm strength 5.
Okay.
There's 3 wounds.
Excuse my language, but
Minus 2.
how many wounds was it?
2.
2. 3 up in Van.
Yes! It's only 1 damage.
The lion takes 1 damage and goes down to 9
He
wounds.
hasn't got feel no pain or anything.
Not against non.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just.
Yeah, no,
that's
fair.
fine.
Yeah. So that's annoying. Yeah. Rolling
Right,
is.
we'll do the bikes.
Oh,
You'll
that
consolidate
guy-
the. He was on the objective.
Yeah.
You'll consolidate.
I'll
the bikes,
consolidate them.
we'll
We'll do
the
the bikes, and then we'll come back just before we go into Matt's turn to go through what I scored. But yeah, that is most of the Dark Angels turn 3 combat done.
Yeah, we'll come.
Right, just very quickly, we finished off the fight phase.
Yep.
Matt did his attacks with the
Yes.
Vertus Praetors.
Killed 1 of the companions.
I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it.
The
minus
rule that
one-
makes Deathwing
minus
one
1 to wound.
It's very annoying.
Yes. So that is the end of the Dark Angels turn 3.
Yes. Oh, I killed 1 companion.
And he killed 1 companion with the attacks anyway, but yeah, it massively helped, to be honest.
Yeah.
They consolidated in, as I said I was going to do in the last clip. In terms of objectives, I got Storm Hostile objective because the lion is controlling that.
As is
That gets me 4. And I also got Assassination because I finally managed to kill a
Shield Captain.
So that's got me both of those.
Yep, and I scored Mark for Death.
And
because I killed
Matt
a Deathwing
scored
Knights.
marked for death, indeed. So we are about to go into Custodes turn 3.
30-25.
To you.
No.
Oh, to me. But we're
Yes.
going into Matt's. Yeah. So Matt will probably, depending on what he gets, draw that back. But it's not a too... no one's storming ahead at the moment.
Well, primaries, I've got one of mine and one of No Man's Land's.
Yes, you do. Yep.
So that's put it up to... No, that's you.
You can give me the points if you want.
Nope. Hang on. It's my turn 3, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I'm really confused. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
It's because we normally do scores at the end of the battle round rather than...
So yeah, one for me, one objective plus my home objective is 30-33 now at the start of my command phase.
So we'll see what Matt draws, and then we'll come back when he's done his command phase and movement. So back in a sec.
So first things first, Will very kindly, because I forget my own rules all the time, will very kindly let me use the Alaris Terminator rule, where if I'm not in combat at the end of his turn, I can go back into reserves.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we haven't really started your turn
officially,
but yeah. We're nice like that.
And they obviously, the Dreadnought passed his Battle Shock test.
Yes, Dreadnought passed Battle Shock.
That was the only one I had.
And yeah, they went... Oh yes, you do have that one.
Ventari. Fail.
They fail.
That's fine. I wasn't planning on using anything on them anyway.
But yeah, they went up.
They did, yes. So movement phase, the Dreadnought fell back.
Yes.
Because I want to shoot the Deathwing Knights.
Can he fall back and shoot?
No, but these guys can.
Oh, sorry, yes.
So the Sagittarium moved out. They're still holding on to the objective, but now they can see the Deathwing Knights as well.
Yep.
The Wardens advanced up. They can advance and charge because they've got the Blade Champion. So once per game I can do that.
Yep.
The bikes have stayed where they are.
Yes.
Because they can't do anything other than fight anyway. And the Terminators have deep struck down next to Will's objective because they were going to try and charge into...
Yep, obviously a 9-inch charge, the ATV.
Yes, the Invader, to try and get Storm Hostile objective, which I was planning on using them for, but then realised I'd got it with the Wardens anyway.
Yes, yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The
only thing is you put there...
Oh, yes, the detachment rule thing, +1 to wound on the companions.
Yes. Yeah. And that is it. That is all the movement.
It is.
So
we're going to do some shooting.
And then
we'll
show you what's died, if anything, and then jump into some charges.
Yep.
So the Custodes shooting phase has just been completed, but we realised we didn't go through the objectives. Yeah. So what did you actually
both
give? They knew both knew.
Yeah.
So we've got Storm Hostile objective, which I think, as Matt mentioned, he's moved up to...
I will have done here and hopefully
potentially
we'll
do there, although
anyway.
shooting phase in a moment. We'll get to the... Secure No Man's Land is control objective in No Man's Land, which...
Or 2 for 5.
Or 2, yeah. So,
which I currently do anyway.
Which you do, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of shooting...
My Sagittarium used their once per game disintegration beams to get devastating wounds.
Shot into the Terminators.
Did 3 damage.
I was like, I'm going to use their once per game Watcher. And then I was like, wait a minute, I've got a Chaplain who also does the exact same thing.
Yep.
So Matt very kindly let me technically put the Watcher back, but I'm never going to use the Watcher because,
But yeah, I did 3 wounds. That was it.
Yeah, 3 wounds. So 1 is on 1 wound.
Oh, he's got a pistol.
He's got a pistol, yeah, so shoot him.
2 shots.
You could kill the lion.
Sustained.
3 hits.
Strength 6.
Winning on 5s.
2 wounds minus something.
They both bloody go through.
1 damage each.
Have I ever told you guys that I hate 40k? Worst game ever invented.
I think specifically you hate Custodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was no shooting over there.
No, because nobody's got pistols here.
But these guys...
I was like, do I shoot the ATV to soften him up a little bit? Do I need to soften him up with a Castellan axe and a spear coming in with a captain and a dude? And then I fired anyway and did nothing.
It's funny because Matt was like, I may as well because I can't kill him. And I was like, can't you?
Yeah. I could potentially have killed him, but fortunately...
But did absolutely nothing. Yeah. So that was that. That was all the shooting. There are a couple of charges which we're going to roll on camera because they could be quite fun.
They could potentially. So we've got the
do you want to do that one?
Terminators into the bike. So
Needs
we need a
9.
That's a 7. So I'm going to have to use
You do have this. You haven't used the battle round one.
Not used the battle round one. Yes, I did.
Oh, did you?
To interrupt you.
You did. Yes, you did. Yes. So you'd have
They're
to use
not going to fail because they can't fail. So I'm going to have to use my CP reroll.
Yep.
With new dice.
Yes, good idea. That is a 7.
God damn it! Okay, that's fine.
So they don't make it, and then
the Wardens are going into the companions. Yeah.
10, they're in.
Fine. So they're just going to
move into the line as well?
No. Okay. I'm going to scooch around the side here. I'm going to make sure I've got 3 dudes on the objective for a bajillion OC.
Yep.
And then we're good to go.
Cool. And that is all of the charges.
Yep.
So we will come back, do some fighting, and show you what is alive.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end of Custodes turn 3, end of battle round turn 3. I am having a severe case of new model syndrome. So Nothing happened over here.
No.
Nothing happened over here.
Nope.
Or here.
Nope. Failed
That
charge
charge
there,
failed
as we
over
saw
there.
earlier. Yeah, even with a reroll.
Lion killed the Venatari.
Unsurprisingly.
And then consolidated into combat with the Wardens.
Yes.
And Matt was umming and ahhing for a while about
I
whether
was.
to go into the Lion or just try and kill.
So my initial plan was Blade Champion, precision attacks, everything into Azrael.
Yep.
Hopefully chop his head off.
Yep.
And then Wardens could have gone into the Lion.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Yep.
Then Bikes would have killed, hopefully,
Yes,
the
the
rest of the companions. Will then pointed out Lion has fought, so what's the point of doing that? So Blade Champion and Wardens went into the Companions and Azrael. I did do precision.
He did.
I put everything into Azrael.
Didn't quite kill him,
4
though.
wounds.
4 wounds onto him. So we had
Blade
2 left.
Wardens then went, this is how you do it, mate.
Yeah,
And killed all of them.
Killed all of them. Chopped them to pieces. So they all died.
Yeah.
And then
Bikes
consolidated
then
in.
consolidated onto the objective just because they can.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that was it. And obviously the Lion had already fought, so can't fight again, as nice as that would be. So that is the end of the battle round.
Yes.
And you scored...
So I scored 5 points for secure no man's land because I hold 2 objectives in no man's land, 1 with my dreadnought, 1 with my Bikes and Wardens.
Yep.
And storm hostile objective because I stole this one from the Lion.
Yes.
Current points 30-42 to me.
Cool. And we are going into Dark Angels Battle Round 4.
Indeed.
So I will choose some objectives and see what I get and see what I can do. But I think I'm going to lose this game. So we are in turn 4, Battle Round 4 for the Dark Angels.
Yep.
That was, I didn't choose an Earth at moment target, but it's going to be the Wardens.
Okay.
Because that's about the only thing I really want to kill.
Yep.
So quite a bit happened. I drew, well, first of all, at the end of the turn, my enhancement, the Fulgus Magna on the chaplain, Matt very kindly reminded me I had it because I always forget I have those kind of rules.
Uppy downy.
So I wanted to potentially use them for some shenanigans. So they uppy downied.
Yep.
I then drew objectives and I got containment and cleanse.
Yep.
So containment, they're both actions, which I'm going to do with a couple of units, but essentially I need to be on an objective and also be within 9 inches of the board edge. So that worked out nicely for the Terminators.
Yes.
Came in 9 inches from the board edge.
Indeed.
Using the command point to drive through walls with Ravenwing unit, my ATV abandoned my objective, which I was going to lose anyway, to be honest, and got a toe in on that so I can cleanse that with him.
Yes, because that's in no man's land.
The Speeder also moved up. I mean, technically the Speeder could do cleanse or containment because it's on an objective and within 9, but doesn't need to do either, so is free to shoot into the full wound dreadnought, which might actually do it. Probably won't, but you never know.
Because that's also stopping me from scoring that.
And yes, they're both OC3, so that does stop Matt from scoring 1 objective in his turn.
Yes.
Obviously, the Lion stayed where he was, so it was a bit of a... We had a quite a bit of back and forth discussion about what we was going to do because there was stuff to plan in terms of the 2 objectives I drew. They weren't simple, straightforward ones. But all the movement is done.
Yes.
So I've got a bit of shooting, but only from the Speeder, really. Although he's got a pistol, so he can shoot in combat, so I'll do that.
Oh, okay.
And then we will do the fight phase, which is just going to be the Lion into the Wardens, essentially.
I had my back to you. I apologise.
So we'll be back in a sec, and we'll see what has happened. So the shooting phase was a bit uneventful. The Lion did kill a Warden with his pistol, but the Hammer Strike fired all its melter, and Matt made his saves.
Yes.
Which was annoying.
I'm really annoying like that.
Yeah. But the Lion is going to fight. There's no charges to make, so the Lion is just going to fight into the Wardens.
Yep.
I'm doing the 4 damage one, the strike profile. Matt is, I'm assuming, going to do the Feel No Pain.
Resource Fist because it's a character unit and that gives me 4 up Feel No Pain.
So 4 up Feel No Pain. I've got 8 attacks. They are my oathed target, so I'm going to be re-rolling everything to fish for the lethal hits on the 6s. So 2s to hit, but 6s is what I want.
There's 1 6 at least.
And there is 1 6.
A couple of 1s.
Yeah, I can't grab it.
3 1s.
And I'm going to re-roll all of them because I'm hitting on 2s, so probably going to roll a load of 1s now.
Maybe.
So 6s please. Another one. So 2 lethal, 2 auto wounds, but the rest are hits. These are wounding on 2s though anyway because I'm strength 12.
That's 3 1s at least.
3 1s.
New dice and new model.
New dice and new model syndrome, for God's sake. So 3 more wounds.
So 5 in total.
5 in total at -4, I think
4
it
up
is.
in one.
Yeah, 4 up in one either way.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
5 4s coming up right now.
Fails 1.
Oh, really?
And he's got 4 up, 4 pain, so 4 damage.
And 4 up, 4 pain. If I pass 2 of these, you've killed nobody.
Yes.
That's, yeah, one dead.
1 dead.
Yeah. Good job, Lion.
Oh, I love Primarch. So that is the lion. Do you want to just do your attacks back, just in case your blade champion kills the lion?
You've got the devastating wound thing, haven't you? 4 up, 4 pain against devs.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the dev one anyway.
Makes sense.
So 5 attack space plus 2 for the enhancement.
Yep.
Hitting on 2s.
Yep.
This is from the blade champion.
Yep. Oh, did you?
I haven't decided because they're fighting now. So do I give them lethal because he's only strength 6?
Yeah.
Or do I give him sustained?
Lethal could be good because I am toughness 9.
And the devs, so that goes through straight away, doesn't it?
Doesn't count as a dev though.
Sustained.
Yeah. Good. Yes. Lethal doesn't proc very well with dev.
So that's all hits plus 1 sustained.
Yep.
There we go.
So
and
winning
then
was
strength
5.
6 or 5.
You want 6s.
There's 1. That's cocked.
6. That's cocked.
Okay. So 2 saves.
2 saves.
And a dev.
So I'll do the 2 saves first.
Yep.
So 3 up invuln.
Yep. That's 3 damage.
3 damage through.
So he's down to 4.
And then a 4 up.
3. It's damage 3.
Of course, yeah, because it's, yeah.
So 1 more.
1 more goes through.
Okay, so down to 3.
Down to 3 damage there.
And
3
then the warden.
And then the warden.
That's 4 attacks. He hits on 2s. With a sustained.
Yep.
So 5 hits. He's strength 9.
Yep.
So
So
4s.
3.
3 more. They're only -1.
So 3 up save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it makes them all. Cool.
Cool.
So the lion is alive on 3 wounds left. That is the end of the combat because we've got no other combats.
No.
So that is the end of my turn.
Yes.
So I did get 3 victory points for containment.
Yep. On
and
1 board edge.
And 2 victory points for
1 objective.
cleanse.
Good.
Yeah. That doesn't remove the objective, does it? It just...
No, it's just an
It's not like, yeah.
an action, yeah.
It's got both of those.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. Oh, wait. My completed one's right there. Sorry, I just can't remember where I put my completed objectives. So that is the end of my turn 4. We're about to go into Matt's turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will come back and see where we are. Well, we'll do Matt's movement and command phase and
Yep.
see what objectives he draws.
Yep.
And then we'll do scores at the end of the battle round. Right.
Turn 4 Custodes.
Turn 4 Custodes.
Yeah,
What
so
did you
I drew
get?
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
So I have to sabotage a terrain feature. I have to be within a terrain feature, not in my deployment zone. So I moved the Terminators. So I'm
You're
now on
desecrating-
your
You're
objective.
desecrating a church.
I am. So I'm on your objective and in that terrain feature, which is in your deployment zone.
Yep.
I also then drew Overwhelming Force, which is kill an enemy unit on an objective.
Yep. Well, the
So
lion is on objective.
The lion's on an objective,
He's
and
on
the
an-
hammer strike's on an objective,
Yep.
and this dude's on an
And he's on
objective.
an objective, so...
So potentially, that's 5 VP if I can kill all 3 of them.
Yep.
Or even 2 of them,
Yep.
actually. 'cause
Which
it's three
probably
each.
should be able to do at least
Hopefully,
those
yeah.
2. Well, the lion's only got 3 wounds, but...
He does. So the Terminator turned round. The Dreadnought turned round.
Yep.
He's going to try and kill the Hammer Strike.
Yes.
Which has survived all game on 1 wound, so
Yeah.
probably won't be able to. The Sagittarium have abandoned my objective because
Yep.
there's a big scary squad of Terminators over here.
Yep.
And I figure I still score objectives outside of my deployment zone, even
Just
if I'm
don't
not
get 5.
holding mine.
Yep,
I
yep.
just score fewer.
Yep.
So I can try and get on the middle objective maybe.
Yep.
I've still got another turn to try and do that.
Yep.
The jet bikes jumped up and over. The lion, they're going to charge him
Yep.
as well to try and kill him.
Sure. Cool.
That's all my movement.
That is everything.
Shooting phase, I've got some stuff to do, so we'll do that.
Yep,
and
we'll do
then
the shooting
we'll
and
come
then
back.
we'll come back in the charge phase.
Cool.
Cool. Custodian shooting phase
Yes.
done.
Yes.
The,
All right.
Yeah, the Contemptor shot into the
Hammer strike.
hammer strike and finally killed it, just about, although it was a close run thing.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Then the Sagittarium shot back.
Yeah, I decided to shoot the Terminators because I'm going to try and charge the bike.
It is an 11.
It is
but
an 11.
Yeah,
You never know.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
And they killed one Terminator, did 3 damage,
Yeah.
and there was one that was on 1 wound.
Yep,
So
and a
killed
couple
one.
of damage on the other guy.
And then the last thing was one of the bikers.
Yes, the shield captain on the bike shot a missile at the quad.
Yep. The
And
bike,
did
ATV.
4
bike.
damage?
Yes, 4 damage, so he's got 4 wounds left.
Yeah. Cool.
So that is it, but then we've got charges.
Yeah.
So we're trying...
So the bikes,
Oh yes, of course, the bikes
going into
first.
the lion.
Yep. That's an 11.
I did that for the
You didn't.
stupid Sagittarium. And the Sagittarium
Sagittarium.
are going to try and charge the invader.
That's a 1
That's
and
a
a...
4.
That's a...
And
Yeah.
I'm not going to command point it.
No. I don't think you need to be honest.
No, I'm not going to command point it.
And there's nothing
So
else
they fail.
to charge. So the bikes have gone in though. And then we will do that fight. The lion will be fighting first. So
Stupid rules.
I might record that. I like seeing if the lion does anything, but I would decide. I don't know who he's going to fight into, but I'll do him and I might record that, and then we'll probably record him being killed by whatever Matt activates. So back in a sec. So we're in the Custodes fight phase for turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
The lion does have fights first, so he pretty much always gets to fights first unless he charges into something else with fights first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go first. I'm going to do
Actually, unless something with fights first charges him.
No, 'cause it's still in your turn.
Oh, yeah,
I'll activate first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes, so I have played the earning of a name stratagem for free off my Shield Captain on a bike.
yes.
Which means I pick 2 Adeptus Custodes character units, the Squad of Bikes and the Wardens.
Yep.
And until the end of the phase, character models, so my Blade Champion and my Shield Captain, can reroll hits and wounds against monsters or vehicles. And he's a monster.
He is. He is indeed. Yep. So I am going to go into the bikes. I've decided,
Cool.
even though
Or
they're
I
not.
feel no pain.
Yep.
So I'm playing the Emperor's Auspice from my Shield Captain for 1 CP on the bikes to give him 4 at feel no pain.
Yep. Infinite command points.
Well, no, I've only ever had 1 at a time.
Yeah. Just with the free. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the lion's going to go into the bikes. I know they're not the oath target, but I'm more scared of their damage than
I
the
probably
Wardens.
would be as well, yeah.
So I've got 8 attacks. I'm doing the strike profile from fealty. So we're hitting on 2s.
Yes.
6s are lethals. Not a 1. But at least they all hit.
Hey, that makes a difference.
And they're only wounding on 3s because
They
your
are
toughness is 7.
7. Correct.
So wounding on 3s.
Oh, look, there's a 6.
Oh, great. 5 wounds go through at -4. So on his 4 up in run. 3
go
go through.
through.
And they're 4 damage each.
Okay. So I've got 3 guys left.
Yeah.
So
So you'll have to
1,
do them 4 at a time, I guess, because
3. They're not devastating or anything, are they?
no.
Okay. So first one,
It's 2 damage.
2 damage. That kills 1 guy because he was
Oh,
only
was
2
it? Yep,
wounds.
yep.
Second
Second
set
one.
4.
1 damage.
Okay, so what? Next guy's down to 3 wounds left. Sorry,
4.
2 wounds left. 4 wounds.
Yep. Because they got 5
Goodness
base.
sake, they got. I know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So I could kill 1 more
You could.
if you failed all these 4, which you're not going to.
Nope, I'm going to pass all of them apart from 1.
So I did 4 damage.
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
dear. Dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep recording this because I know Matt wants to see if the bikers can kill the lion. Even if they
do as well.
I do as well, yeah. Even if the bikers don't, the wardens almost certainly
Should we
will.
start with the captain or should we start with the biker?
It's up to you. So you want
Captain
to
gets full rerolls. So let's do the captain.
do the captain because I think he'll probably be enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to do armor of contempt.
Okay.
Wait, what's your AP?
2.
Won't make a difference.
No, he's still 3 ups.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to do it.
No,
Okay. Is he Deathwing?
he's got no keywords
Okay. Apart from monster.
apart from monster. Yeah.
So my captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike has 6 attacks. I charged you.
You did.
This is where I need to remember my different rules. So I ended a charge. You're in engagement range.
Yes.
On a 4+,
Oh god,
you
yeah.
suffer mortal wounds. And once per battle, I'm gonna make you take a battle shock test because
Fair.
they're not going to charge anything else. So on a 4+,
Yep.
you take D3 mortal wounds. No. Okay. But now you have to take a battle shock test. You're probably fine.
Yeah.
Because I saw a 5. Okay, cool. That's all of that sorted out. Now, Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike has an Interceptor Lance with 6 attacks, hitting on 2s,
Yep.
full rerolls because of the stratagem.
Yes.
And sustained.
And sustained, yes. Yeah.
So 2 misses, but I'm going to reroll everything.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
I'm not
50.
sustained.
Yeah, yep.
And I
Makes
hit on
sense.
2s, so it's probably okay. So
One
there's
is-
1 sustained.
1 sustained.
And everything else
hits.
hits.
Yep, so add
So
1
there's
more
1
dice,
extra dice in there. Now I'm strength 7.
So 5s, but you get
You
Plus-
are my target
and you also
for +1 to hit,
Yeah.
+1 to wound, so 4s, and I have Lance, so 3s.
but it doesn't. You can't go higher than +1.
Can you not?
Nope.
That's really annoying.
Nope. Same as the hit roll. We can't get more. So
4s then.
Yep.
There's 4.
4.
-2.
So I've got a 3-up invuln. And I make them all.
Okay, and then we've got the other biker.
Yep.
Who has 5 attacks this time.
Nice.
He hits on 2s.
Yep.
Doesn't get rerolls though.
Nope, but
got
sustained.
2 sustained,
Yep.
so I'll put that one in there as well. He is also strength 7 with lance and thingy.
Yep.
So 4s.
4s.
And that is 1.
1.
Again, -2. Fine.
Okay, might be up to the wardens then.
Ay. Right, Warden. So the Warden has 4 attacks. Because I did the Blade Champion last.
Yes.
I reckon the Blade Champion's going to have to
Yeah,
step up and do it.
I think the Blade Champion's going to do it.
So Warden, 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. With
2
sustains, so
5 in
there's my
total.
sustains. And then he's strength 9,
Yep. So
+1 to wound.
So 3s.
So 3s. For 3.
For 3.
They're only -1.
So 3-up save.
Yep. But they are 3 damage.
2 goes through. I'm going to have to command point reroll one of them.
You've only got 3 wounds left, the 3 damage.
Oh, of course, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, can't save them.
Nope.
So, yeah, that is the lion dead by a regular, plain, old Custodian Warden.
I know, the Blade Champion didn't even get to fight.
No.
Did they explode?
No. He doesn't, but if he did, he wouldn't. That is the lion dead. He didn't really do...
Sorry.
He killed
I feel
3...
quite bad about that.
He
Sorry, Ashlyn.
He killed... Yeah, I know, you should. Killed 3 Venatari and... he killed a couple of bikes. And a couple of
one
wardens.
bike.
Killed 1 bike.
One
3
bike and
Venataris
3
and a couple
Venatari.
of... Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, that is the end of the combat phase
That's the end of the turn.
and the end of the battle round.
Yep.
So what are we looking like?
So sabotage. Oh,
Yep.
no, sabotage is the end of your turn.
Okay, so we still...
Yes,
Cool.
but overwhelming force.
Yes.
I killed your hammer strike and the
And
lion.
the lion. Yep.
So I got 2 units for that. So 5 going into turn 5. 38-55.
Yeah, this is turning decidedly one-sided.
It has, yeah, a little bit.
But we're going into battle round 5.
Mm-hmm.
My turn. About all I'm going to do. Well, I'll see what I get. Might get a few points, but I'm on 1 objective.
Yes,
So
you
I
are.
get 3 points essentially for that.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, we'll be back in my command phase and we'll show you what I've moved and what objectives I got secondary wise and see if I can score anything. But it'll probably be a very, very quick turn. That was a very, very quick Dark Angels turn 4.
It was. On the plus side, you scored some points.
I would have picked them as the Oath target because
Oh, yeah.
that was
Makes
the only
sense.
thing I was going for.
Yeah.
I drew Recover Assets, which is an action that I need to do with 2 units. There was no way I was realistically going to do that.
No.
Although I did have stuff in position to do it, but I just...
In different areas of the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then behind enemy lines is 1 unit wholly within your opponent's deployment, which I did have with the Terminators, but then we measured it out, and if I advanced the ATV and rolled a 3+, could get 2 in. So I did that. I rolled a 3. Matt...
It was literally just wholly within.
Matt very kindly. I mean, I don't care if he does, but Matt was like, Overwatch? And I was like, you can if you want, but I think there's almost no point.
No.
So I then attempted a charge because I still would have been in.
Yeah.
Just if I'd made the charge in and not piled in and like overweight anything. But I rolled a 3 followed by a 4 with my command point reroll.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the turn.
It is.
I did get
Behind enemy
4
lines.
points for behind enemy lines.
Yep.
And that, as they say, is all she wrote.
Okay. So I'll draw my mission. I'll draw my objectives.
Yes, yep.
So I did sabotage.
Yes, he did sabotage.
In your deployment zone.
Yes.
So my 2 objectives that I draw in my turn are behind enemy lines.
Yep.
And Cull the Horde, which I can't
score that.
Because they're only 3 wounds each.
4.
4, 8, 12, 16.
5.
I can score, so I have to keep it.
Yes, yes.
Because the Deathwing Terminators plus the Chaplain have a starting strength of more than 20 wounds.
Yes, yes.
In fact, I think they had a starting strength of more than 25.
Yeah, because they had the other guy,
Yeah. And behind enemy lines. Okay. So, and also for my primaries, I'm on 3 objectives.
Yep.
But not my home one.
But not the home one, but that's still +9.
It is still +9, yeah.
Yep.
And then the only thing that I'm potentially going to do is try and get a second unit for behind enemy lines, and that's going to be a flat 6 advance on the bikes.
Yep.
To put me 18 inches.
Which will get you
which
in
is
there.
in wholly your deployment zone.
because I can't do anything else.
Nope.
There's no way I'm going to kill them.
No.
Kill the Deathwing Knights,
No.
so I can't get Cull the Horde. So 4 points for behind enemy lines. And that's it.
Yep.
I'm not going to bother shooting.
No, there's no point because
literally no
it
point.
won't make it. It won't make a difference.
And that
realistically,
the bikes were the only unit that needed to move.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I do have some battle shocks to do.
Yes.
So my Dreadnought is potentially battle shocked.
shocked.
So that's 3 fewer points on Linchpin. My Wardens, it doesn't matter because I had the bikes and they can't be battle shocked.
Nope.
The Terminators also can't be battle shocked because they are at half
so it was
strength.
Just,
so it was just that.
Just a Dreadnought.
So it's 3 points fewer than I would have scored.
Yes.
But just to make sure we remembered.
Yep.
And that's it.
And that is it. That is the essentially the end of Matt's turn because there's no point in doing any shooting and charges. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So let's add up points and see what we got at the end of battle round 5. So I got 71 points and Matt got.
I think you're fine, Will. There's a little name next to each of the scores there.
Yeah. Ended up being 71-45 to the Custodes. So a fairly overwhelming victory from that perspective.
I'm surprised that I know we've discussed this off camera. I'm quite surprised by that.
I'm really not, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I think seeing Azrael, the companions, 2 squads of Deathwing Knights, the Lion. I think that's what concerned me. I wasn't overly worried by your bikes.
No,
because they're not amazing.
No, even with the changes, especially in this detachment, like, yes, they're much better in the Company of Hunters, and you have Azrael and the Ravenwing Command Squad, but with a Chaplain in this detachment, all they really do is give +2 to the Deathwing to charge, but they themselves don't really do much, even with the +1 strength on the charge. So they're not scary, really.
But these guys are really scary, even with the swords.
I like the Deathwing. I like the Deathwing Knights. Forgetting about the Fulgus Magna for probably one turn is another thing that always annoys me.
I don't think you did, actually.
I don't think, was there maybe one turn? I could have used it. Yeah, that's true.
I think
I did use it.
Turn 2.
Yeah, then you reminded me.
They were in combat.
Yeah, that's true. So I couldn't have. But
I mean, technically, you could have used it in my turn 4, but you were already here.
Yes, yeah, didn't need to.
You weren't really going to go anywhere else.
The Deathwing Knights are good, although they're a very good anvil, but one of the armies that does have the output in melee to get rid of them is Custodes.
I don't know, the majority of me is damage 2.
True.
So realistically, I'm damage 1.
True.
I do have
a lot of hits.
Attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, the Lion and the Inner Circle companions flubbed quite a lot of their rolls.
Very much so. A full squad of companions plus Azrael killing 1 jet bike.
With Oath of Moment.
With Oath of Moment and lethal, sustained, and devastating on Azrael.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
But even still, I like the detachment, but it's not a very good detachment.
Yeah. Hammer strikes are rubbish.
Hammer strikes. I like Storm Speeders, but Hammer strikes. It's the strength 9 on their melter. It's just not a good profile into vehicles, and it's not really a great because it's so few shots either. It's not great into like infantry.
Yeah.
So I might. I mean, when we play friendly games, I might proxy them as Thunderstrike, but I might get some painted up as Thunderstrikes to add to the army.
I think that would help.
Yeah, because this list really it didn't have. Not that you had many vehicles, but there was very little anti-tank apart from the Lion.
Yeah, but then you think about it, jet bikes, toughness 7.
I was going to say, they're kind of tanky. They're very tanky.
They're very vehicle-y.
Yeah.
Terminators.
Even there, toughness 7 with 4 wounds. Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't help you that I'm 4-up invulnerable across the board, and I can 1 CP for 4-up feel no pain on a character unit.
You made a good number of 4-up feel no pain. 4-up
I made more invuns than
that's what I meant. So yeah.
Funnily enough, when I've got a 5-up or a 6-up feel no pain, I make a million.
Yeah. 4-ups.
I can't make 4-ups.
But the 4-up invuns are very. And I mean, I know I have them equally. The Deathwing Knights were very durable with them, but army-wide 4-up invuns across the board is super, super good.
Yeah, Custodes are the only thing they can't do is shoot.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah,
if like properly good shooting.
No, exactly.
The salvo launchers are better than I expected because I forgot that they were strength 10 now.
Yeah, the salvo launchers are good.
But everything else is pretty much all strength 4.
Yeah.
And the contemptors are just useless.
Yeah, hilariously useless.
Yeah, it's like 160 whatever points of not very good.
Yeah, exactly.
but it's a cool model, and
Yeah, exactly.
for those points, I just couldn't really bring anything else apart from it and maybe another character. But where would he go?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But no, it was a fun game. Just went quite badly for the Dark Angels as we got further into it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, as I say, I'm slightly surprised, but then as we discuss it, Custodes are tough.
Custodes are tough. I mean, I don't think they're like. I think there are plenty of armies that are much better than Custodes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think Custodes are sort of solidly mid-pack, and I think Dark Angels at the moment are slightly below mid-pack, at least in terms of all the reports and tournament results I've seen.
I also really liked in that game, neither of us just went herring straight up the board and ended up with a big punch up in the middle.
Yeah, we actually, there wasn't really much.
No, I think it was your jet
my
bike.
my ATV was the only thing that really.
Your Terminators were there for.
My Terminators were there for a turn before they charged. Yeah, but yeah, it was much around. It was really around the corner.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything particularly bad positioning wise. I think we worked out quite well. We each got some charges off at times. It seemed like it was actually a really well balanced game.
When we got to the point in sort of like turn 2, it was fairly balanced. But then you just pulled ahead with a few good rounds of secondaries and just having the objectives,
just being able to
the primaries
fight.
even. Yeah.
The fight phase was really my strong suit, I think, and that's just dice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I like Auric Champions.
Auric Champions is very nice.
It's
It's very good. And the +1 to wound is really nice. Having the stratagems that get like even really go well on the character units.
And I even forgot about the stratagem where I can move the +1 to wound to a different unit if I kill the first one.
Nice.
Which is really handy. So I could, in the first round of fighting the lion, because I'd killed the companions,
put it on him.
I forget these things because it's a new detachment to me.
Exactly.
But I will be using it again.
Yes, absolutely. No. It's very, very good. I'll go back to the Gladius.
Boo.
No, I like the Dark Angel detachments. I just think they need a bit of oomph across the board.
I'll be inclined to agree.
So, and the problem is that we're running on to another 10-minute monologue as we get to the end of the video, as you guys are probably I like the Company of Hunters, which is the Ravenwing one. But I was saying to Matt at the beginning of the game, Ravenwing are probably going to get an update in 11th, so I am very, very disinclined to buy Samael and the Black Knights because...
Especially because they're the wrong size.
Yeah, they're the wrong size, and they're probably going to be getting an update. And running just Outriders with Chaplain on bike isn't really good Ravenwing units to bring. This game wouldn't have been different, but it might have been better if I had a unit of 6 Black Knights with Samael instead of 6 Outriders with a Chaplain.
Yeah. Although, don't forget your Chaplain did have +1 damage.
Chaplain did have his 15-point +1 damage.
Speaking of which...
we were looking at one of the other enhancements.
We were discussing this as well earlier. 15 points for +1 damage.
Yeah, which is what I took.
Which is an amazing stat.
Yeah.
But then if you take the new Custodes detachment, Lions of the Emperor, for 10 points, you can take +3 strength, +1 AP and damage.
Yeah. Which... I think
and actually that's on all weapons that the model has.
Yes.
It's not even just on... no, it's
melee
weapons.
weapons.
It's melee. So it's not his spear shooting.
No, so that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's much better than what I can take in this detachment. But anyway, I won't, just blab on for another 5 minutes. It was a fun game. I had a really good time doing it, and up until sort of the midpoint, it was actually fairly balanced. And
it was very much so. Yeah. I mean, the fight over in this corner with the line could have gone massively the other way.
Yeah.
I could have lost 3 units there in 2 turns.
Yes. Exactly. If
with your companions,
if the companions Azrael had done better, and Azrael had killed, I know he then piled in after kill, but if he had been killed all the Venators, he would have had a turn to move up and potentially charge to get a better position.
Yeah.
But it's just a luck of the dice.
Very
Can't really do much about it.
Yep.
But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, point out anything that we got wrong or missed, or tactics-wise that you would have done differently, because we're always happy to be told and learn and find out things that we missed or forgot about. So do let us know down in the comment below. And also any ideas for any other battle reports you'd like to see going forward. More of the Dark Angels obviously will be coming. But also, I assume, more of the Custodes, because they seem to be doing rather well.
Well,
Also, a few things you're working on that I can see are sprayed at the moment.
Yeah, I've got too much going on.
Yeah, indeed.
But I think the Custodians will definitely turn up against certain armies.
Yes.
I don't think they'll be an every game thing.
No.
I'm enjoying playing the Blood Angels. I'm just not very good at playing them.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas I don't have to be particularly good at playing
It's a bit
Custodians
easier.
because they're such a good, they're so strong individually.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you in the next battle report, which will hopefully be along soon. So catch you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.